So it was poor communication, which of course is where 99.9% of D&D problems come from. Hence the, what is it? Is it just that?
Talk to your table, talk to your table, talk to your table, talk to your table.
Hi, hello, welcome in. Today we're scrolling our D&D over on Reddit. What I like to do is scroll through new and pick out some posts based just on their titles that I think will be interesting. I don't read for context, at least not yet. I then present them to you live. We talk about anything we can possibly glean from just the title, read for context and talk about that. Then most of the time we venture down into the comments to see if people agree or disagree with us, if they're fighting with each other, or just saying silly stuff. If you want to join us while they're live, hop down into the description below and follow me on Twitch. And please feel free to tell me what you thought down in the comments below. Without further ado, let's talk about a DM success story. I have this one, which is titled, I had one of the best DM experiences of my life. We love feel-good stories, so we'll start off there. I can't say we're gonna end on the same vibes. Off the title, woohoo! So context, yes, that is what the post usually provides to the title. We've been playing over 3 years in my homebrew world. This makes it a tad difficult to bring in guest PCs because they're not in on the 100 sessions of world building that have already happened. I already have things to say about that, but that's not the point of this post. I recently tackled the challenge of adding a new permanent party member. He's a halfling that got lost and ended up in the Feywild. His introduction to the campaign was him being ferried out of the Feywild due to some vague danger. In order to expedite his connection to the world, I put a major character the party was already looking for into the Feywild and repurposed the map they were assembling to lead them there. Okay. The party were treating it like an errand, but now they're stuck in the Feywild, and the new player's character is a critical piece of a new conflict they've just discovered. Now for the guest character. Their character is from the Feywild, so they have no need of the homebrew world building. World building. Ugh. It's fine, chick. You don't need to edit these posts. I set them up as a sworn sword to Titania. I'm a lucky DM and have stumbled across really strong role players, and our new guest is absolutely awesome. The players are really good at having tension between their characters in a way where everyone is still having fun. My favorite moment came in a moment where, in my opinion, the tension was approaching a counterproductive level. I thought about cutting it off out of character, but instead I built the environment with an ominous presence and echoing laughter. Instantly, the conflict turned from internal to external. The players absolutely nailed the role-playing, setting aside their distrust for one another for common safety. Then in combat, the characters ended up developing trust and respect for one another through their actions in the fight. I like a lot of those things. So there was like a lot here. The first thing that I have to say is, makes it a tad difficult to bring in guest PCs because they're not in the 100 sessions of world building that have already happened. Let's take an average person in our world and think about how much of the greater world they know about. Not necessarily that much. Most people don't know anything about the world outside of their, like, very small thing. Now, that's changed a little bit with social media, of course, but if we, like, take it back to before there was social media and the rest of the world was at our fingertips, and then also still consider that there are loads of people who have access to the internet and still don't know anything about anywhere else in the world. I don't think it matters that much if PCs understand all of the world building that has already happened. Like a farmer. I mean, legitimately, look at small town people in our regular world. And this is no shit to small town people. I grew up in a small town. But it's common to not know a lot about the world that you live in. I mean, we can look at people talking about politics in our regular world. Lots of people don't understand the like, bits and bobs of politics that are happening in their own country. How many people do you think actually knows, like, what their mayor is doing in their city, because if I look here, I mean, and we're a weird city because I feel like because we're a government town, a higher percentage of the population does know what's going on in our city, and it's still not everyone. Welcome, Amon. How's it going? In a small town in the US, farmers know their local town and they know what's happening here, but not in the greater scope of things. Yeah, so this first piece, I think it's silly to feel like any new PC that you bring in has to know everything about the world. Now, I think they've gone about it in a good way. Like, I think what they've done as a DM in like all of these situations has been a good thing. I do have a funny story about a guest PC, and Red learned a very important lesson from bringing in a guest PC who was also new to the game. So guest PCs can be difficult, especially if they don't know what they're doing. Because we had a guest PC who came in and started shooting at the other PCs, which was like in character, but there was a lesson learned to not start a new character in the middle of combat without knowing what side they're on. If it was made extremely clear, but of course we all didn't help in like, oh god, there's a stranger, so we're like, who are you? And then they're like, ting, 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 and we're like, oh, you're fighting us, so we fought them, you know? Like, it was, definitely, it did kill or almost killed one of the long-running PCs. Do y'all remember before the internet that people thought the cause of stupidity was the lack of access to information? Yeah, wasn't that kind of what I'm getting at? Yeah, like the headline of the story. Yeah, I thought I'd start off with something happy today. You know as well as I do that it's not gonna stay as fun and happy stories, but during a campaign on Thursday, I was given the player's handbook and notes. We're bringing in a new player tonight, and the same handbook and notes. Fair. New friend opens fire. Oh, well, yeah, see, the thing is like, we did the, like, normal thing of, like, being on edge when a stranger's there. And they were like, oh, let's just fight, because they didn't really, it's not their fault. It's simply that they didn't realize that it wasn't, like, a combat game. Like, D&D is a combat game, but it's, like, a cooperative one. Like, we don't fight each other, we fight other things. Except in very specific cases where, like, you're planning on fighting each other. So it was poor communication, which, of course, is where 99.9% of D&D problems come from. Hence the... what is it? Is it just that? Anyway, so I started blasting. Yeah, exactly. They mention, like, repurposing the map. This is just a constant thing that DMs do. Especially depending on if the map is, like, an actual physical thing that you have or not. But, like, sometimes we give true choice, and sometimes we give the illusion of choice, and that's where repurposing maps comes in. Sometimes, when your party comes to a fork in a road, there are two different paths that you're taking, and two completely different things that you're gonna do. And sometimes when you come to a fork in the road, those bandits are gonna get you on either side. I'm just gonna bamf from over to one versus the other. So, like, they're repurposing the map, like, and it's just leading them to, like, a slightly different place, like, that's, yeah, yes, that happens all the time. We change where the map's going. It's, so, like, it's the right choice is kind of what I'm saying. Sometimes you use a map, as a placeholder so the players can argue about their movements and location and situation. Yeah, for sure. Heard it from the grapevine that chick equals stinky. I showered, okay? I'm not stinky anymore. Your news is old. Okay. The guest character. Yeah, I mean, so this is a great way to do a guest character, is just have them, like, absolutely tied to, like, something specific that the characters are going through right now, because they're not going to be around for the whole time, in theory. And then this part... This part's a little weird, but I think that they handled it well. I just don't really understand the tension approaching a counterproductive level. Maybe this is just because I've never had a particularly tension-filled party. But that's not even true. Yeah, the approaching counterproductive level is like a weird, like, but also like, if they're usually good at self-regulating, then I feel like you worrying about it is kind of weird. But I don't disagree with like stepping in and like giving them something to like refocus on. Because you do have to wonder how much of that tension is in character and how much of it is out of character. Which also, like, if this hadn't have worked, you don't have to cut it off out of character, but you can, like, do, like, a quick little check-in with everyone, like, hey, is this tension still fun for everyone? And if everybody's, yeah, then you just, like, let them keep going. But, like, that check-in, I think, is important. But, yeah, this seems... Great job GMing, friend. Good, Sergeant Pepper 220, good job. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit all the buttons, and if you're so inclined to join us live, don't forget to go follow me on Twitch. And if you want more Reddit right now, click here for a video looking at neon signs versus breadcrumbs. Hope you had fun. I had a blast. Catch you next time. Bye.